Hi, I'm Laura.
And I'm Paul.
And this is The Truth About.
Confusion filled sea of doubt. It's time to hear the truth about. Confusion filled sea of doubt. It's time to hear the truth about.
Arguments. Let's have an argument.
Well, we almost just had one because I started talking, but as we were about to record, saying I wanted chocolate.
What's the purpose of an argument?
To release your emotions and frustrations.
It's an interesting one, which is the same thing of what I say about everything, probably while we're talking about it in the first place. But
Well, yeah, we wouldn't talk about it if it wasn't
you know what
interesting.
I think?
What?
I think what I found in my years on Earth is people are emotionally driven when we argue about certain stuff. And usually I think it is the things that we really care about, first of all. And I usually find it's things that we hate about ourselves or that kind of emotional need that's not being filled that we're actually talking about.
I feel that I'm not one who likes a lot of confrontation.
No.
I apologise all the time.
Yeah. Which to be fair, in our relationship, that's a good thing.
Yeah, because you never apologise. But you know when you've done something wrong when I haven't apologised.
Exactly.
So if you've really upset me, then I will not apologise.
Yeah.
And that's when you know.
Yeah.
But I tend to argue if I just feel like I'm not being listened to. If I've said something repeatedly, and it's not been taken in or my feelings haven't been acknowledged, then I feel like the only way I can get through is just by losing my rag.
And this is the thing, like, because in theory there are variant different types of arguments as well. Because, for example, I could say it could be a political thing, couldn't it? Where I'm going, well, actually, no, this president wasn't very good, or this person was very good, actually, or whatever. So that's one part of it. So argument does hold a very important place in our lives, doesn't it? Because
about expressing your opinion.
Yeah, and we need to learn. But the thing is, do you find people actually listen within an argument?
It depends on the type of argument you're having, because you can argue facts and you can discuss things as an argument, as in like a pros and a cons kind of way. So, when at school or college or something, you're writing essays and things, you're gonna have arguments,
different points of views.
Exactly. So it's less than having a go about something, and it's more about discussing two sides of a situation. And that's exactly what I see as an argument between two people is two different opinions against each other,
or multiple opinions,
or multiple. So in terms of arguing your case about something, say for instance, I don't know, what do we argue about? Oh, we probably argue about mess, and probably like parental duties and who does what, who does the most. And I think it becomes, it's not necessarily an argument, we more bicker about that. And I don't think we've ever had a really big shouty argument.
No. And that's interesting, isn't it? Like, I don't know.
Some people argue in different ways, though. Some people just don't say anything and argue.
This is the thing. I think, for me personally, the worst thing is if I'm quiet. Yeah. Because then you're really bottling it. You know what I mean? Like, as in, just from the point of view, if you're... I don't know. I think arguments are important to actually bring up stuff. You know what I mean?
You need to have discussions. You don't necessarily need to have arguments. Like when you're quiet and I can tell you're annoyed, I will say, "Are you okay? What's the matter?" And that actually tends to annoy you even more.
That does, yeah.
What I'm trying to do is get that out of you, because there's no point bottling it up, because it's not going to make you feel any better.
No.
It's about having a constructive argument. I'd say, if you're annoyed by something that I've done, rather than shouting at each other, then it's more about going, look, I'm just really annoyed that this happened. it just is bothering me, or
Yeah.
if you just need time alone to think it over, just to
Yeah.
you know, for a while you were actually just texting me everything that you were thinking.
That was actually quite good, actually.
It was really good, and I think
Yeah.
it is a good way, because once you write it down and you read it back, you can be a bit like, wait, am I really upset over
From the
this?
flip side, can you imagine how bad that has been for people and relationships? Because, like, as in, we're now at this thing where we can just straight away go, you know what, I'm just going to text something. Or, like, you see it all the time, don't you? Like, you know, friendships, you know, can totally just
Yeah,
end over that stuff.
I mean, with family members,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
example.
Yeah, but yeah.
sometimes that is the only. It's the quickest. It can be the quickest way. It can be your way of
That's not always the
expression.
best thing.
No, but sometimes I think when you're face to face with someone, you're limiting yourself. Like,
From a work context, right?
Mm.
Someone will very easily send you a rubbish email. And then I tend to go, fine. And I ring them up. Can you imagine how different they are
yeah,
when you ring them up
I think that
to
is
when someone emails you?
that is a situation, but also if it depends on the mood you're thinking, because they may not be any different to how they are in the email, and that might just set you off.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. I tend to cry when I'm angry, or if I need to have an argument. I get so full up of emotion that I just burst into tears, and people just seem to think that I'm being over dramatic, and that can be the case, but it's because of bottling up. And I think that's the best thing about, you know, it's okay to have an argument as long as you can discuss it after and make up. Surely there's, you know, nothing wrong with, you know, having a row every now and again.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think in a positive way, I think arguments are actually good. Like, obviously, to actually, you know, talk about stuff.
Yeah,
You know, like-
I don't think things have to be an argument, though, do they? I mean, like I said earlier, you can argue something without arguing.
Well, this is the thing. The very nature of argument is if, for example, now, you know, or whatever, we essentially could be having.
I think
I
a
could
lot.
come up with an argument.
I
over
think
something.
a lot of our friends, when they come over, they think we're arguing all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
Because I have no fear in showing when you're saying something that I don't like or agree with, because I don't believe in hiding your emotions in general.
No.
I believe as soon as you start doing that, you're lying to yourself.
But that's the thing as well, which I think we're potentially different from a lot of people as well, is like my humor with my friends would be the same humor with you. Like I don't hide stuff or anything like that.
No, but I also think that when this is going to turn into an argument, but like when friends are over, you want to pick on me more.
Yeah.
And that can turn into an argument because I can get annoyed by that, because it's just like, why are you saying that? Like,
It's kind of like a showing off thing, isn't it?
yeah, and I think a lot of people do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have expected it after
Most
10
of our
years
friends,
together.
to be fair, like you think, are they really in a relationship? But obviously you know that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I
when-
mean, we're not like it when we're on our
No,
own.
exactly.
Like, I don't know why when people are around, we're just suddenly arguing.
there
or,
probably is some kind of psychological thing for that, I think.
Yeah, most of the time it's just because Paul's talking over me and I shout at him.
I don't think that ever happens. Show me
like,
your proof.
Will you let me talk to my
14,
friend?
14 other episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's interesting though. You know, like, yeah, arguments.
What's
point
the
of an argument.
What's the biggest argument you think you've had with somebody? Not necessarily me.
No. The biggest argument I've had with someone. That's an interesting question. I mean, for example, like, it's always stuff that I really care about.
Yeah.
Like, I remember in the, you know, in like the kind of band context or whatever, the problem is like growing up in bands and all that kind of stuff, there's things that I really, really care about.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have said I was the best person to ever work with in a musical context, because I want perfection.
Yeah.
And I won't stop until I get perfection. I know I'm never going to get it, blah, 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 all that again. But so certain things I remember one of the biggest arguments I had was over like a drum bit. You know what I mean? Of just like, come on, man, you can play that better than that or whatever. And then obviously escalated to full-blown major argument.
Yeah.
But looking at it is silly. But with all the surrounding factors of that, it's not silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of pressure on stuff. And
Yeah, but it's important to you.
and this is the thing, and this is kind of where I was going kind of from the start of saying it tends to be things that you just really, really care about. And this is the kind of thing, like, you never bring up religion, you never bring up politics at a dinner party.
See, this is the thing. I'd say my biggest argument was with...
Don't say people's names.
No, I'm not going
No.
to. Has been over a racial issue.
Yeah.
And trying to argue different points of view about why certain acts were carried out and whether there was good enough reason for them.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, no.
No.
And it doesn't matter what the other party has done.
Yeah.
It doesn't warrant killing.
No.
We spent a long time discussing it, and
Yeah.
it was kind of eye-opening in a way, because it wasn't a shouty argument. It was more of how we can view things and be a hypocrite in certain ways about certain other things that matter to us.
Yeah.
And it does make you rethink a lot of stuff, having arguments. You actually see other people's points of view.
Yeah.
And it can it can bring in something deeper, I think.
Here's what I deem to be an interesting question as well, Laura, is can you think of a time where you've had an argument with someone and then you've come away from that with a totally changed opinion? As in, like, an argument was so good that actually you went, well, you know what?
Actually, it's come about lately where I have been doubting my opinions on certain topics. So, for example, I've said to a friend, I don't know how you can still listen to a particular singer when they've been convicted of a horrible crime.
Yeah.
And you're still giving them justification, you're still giving them, praise and money, even though that person's no longer alive.
Yeah.
You're still giving them some sort of publicity in a way.
Yeah.
And it's only since this whole J.K. Rowling situation with it coming to light that she's a very problematic person, that I've actually found it hard to support her. I don't support her, but I still love Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've got a Harry Potter tattoo, but at the same time, I'm just like, do I continue supporting my love for Harry Potter? Or, I know it's different because she hasn't committed a horrible, horrible crime, but it's sort of that thing of supporting somebody.
Her opinion is different from your own.
And it's an opinion that I'm very against.
Yeah.
And it's the same with whole Johnny Depp situation. I'm not a big fan of Johnny Depp. But for reasons. I've never really loved him as a person. I don't like his ex-wife really that much either. So I don't support either of them, but I still love certain Johnny Depp films. And I'm just like, shall I stop watching them? Like, so I
just
think
to clarify, there's, I don't know. That's a tricky one because it's like,
do you still, like, I've walked away from that because
it's not a one-sided thing.
No,
as well.
because but the friend I was talking to about this, it's like, but I can separate the art from the artist. And that is exactly what I was like, can you? And then I had my own situation where I'm like, actually, I really love this film, but it's got someone that I don't particularly like in it.
And that's the interesting thing. I think one of the biggest arguments we've been a part of, it wasn't actually directly us, was it? We're not going to say all this stuff, but essentially it was a politics over a dinner party, wasn't it, really, that time or whatever. But it was like, you didn't realise someone had some kind of opinion, and then once it all blew out, everyone I think in the dinner party was like, really? And then it all kicked off. And then
I wish I knew what dinner party you were referring to.
I'll mouth it to you.
Sorry. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was someone found a placard in the garage or whatever,
Yes.
and then suddenly like everyone had changed.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
but from that kind of point, you do actually judge someone.
Yeah, because you're like,
And then the arguments weren't really that positive to go, well, actually,
no,
you're right.
we ended up.
We should all support racism.
Yeah, I did end up going, okay, we should stop talking now, because we'd all had a glass of wine, we all had a good time, and
Well.
then we were just like, we should stop this conversation.
Yeah. And I think we were, yeah.
It does kind of change your opinions
But
on
this is what I'm
people, though,
saying.
doesn't it?
Well, yeah, like if, I don't know, I'm trying to think of topics, but I don't really want to bring any of it up, to be fair. But like, but that's the thing. If someone comes up with an argument, it does change a lot of stuff, don't you think? Like going, God, I don't know if I can be friends with this person anymore.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that have said your opinion on politics shouldn't change the person, like how you see a person.
Yeah.
But to me it does, because it makes me question your values and how I see you as a person.
Even like if someone's friends with like a racist, you know what I mean? I'm then like, really? Like you're kind of not anything I want to be to do with
we
anymore.
are associated with some people that have very different opinions to us, and it is, you want to say something and they are very aware that you do not share those opinions, but they still happily bring up their own as if they want an argument to happen.
Yeah, that's
And,
a lot of it, isn't it?
like I said earlier, I don't like confrontation, and my best bet
I
is
don't mind
just
it.
my best bet is just to step back and just not have anything to do with that person anymore.
No, toxic.
Yeah, exactly, because they're toxic.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do still like that person and you do like a lot of their qualities, but you just like, it depends on how much of their life is surrounded by that mentality.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, again, it's that conflicting.
Yeah, but okay,
thing.
let's put it into perspective. So you're friends with someone from childhood,
Yeah.
best friends, whatever. You've got so much nostalgia together of everything you used to do, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you get to this point where actually they're now a racist, or, they're a part of the Nazis, whatever.
To be honest, for me, their past has got nothing to do with their present and their future.
Yeah.
If their future involves them, our friendship involves them being a racist and bigot, or all of that, I rather not be a part of that. I rather
No.
keep the happy memories that I did have and go, cool, turns out their future selves wasn't that great.
Yeah. But yeah, that's quite a big part of it, isn't it, really?
Are we going to have a little break?
Let's have a cheeky little break. Be sure to check out the Truth About blog at truthabout.co.uk.
We just had a massive row.
We just had a big argument. I don't want to talk about it.
No. That's pretty much how our arguments end up. We just end up laughing.
And yeah, it's hard to argue with a madman.
Honestly, I just don't know. I just don't know how I do it. Do you think I'm argumentative?
By nature. No, I tell you what, one of my favourite qualities about you is that you will see something from different points of view. So, for example, if I go, okay, what do you think about this thing I've just designed or whatever, you're not gonna BS me into saying, well, yeah, that looks really nice, or that's okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna go, you know what, I don't really like the yellow bit on it, or I don't really like the grey bit, or whatever. So that's a positive thing. And that's the thing as well, whether you take someone's opinion into account is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, I think that's what arguments are mostly. They're
Yeah.
opinions.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
facts can't be argued.
No.
Can they? If there's proof
Well,
to
they
back them
can.
up. Well, yeah, they can.
What
but
kind of facts you got?
well, the world is flat.
Well, that's
Conspiracy.
not a fact, though.
Yeah, I know, but some people
Yeah.
in their head, well, the fact is the earth isn't flat, but some people just will not believe that as being a fact.
Do you think there are a lot of facts that were facts that have now been debunked and not longer facts anymore.
Well, that is the thing. Facts can change, but there's certain things that just can't.
From medieval times, we used to drill holes in people's heads to release the pressure and to basically get rid of probably what headaches are.
Yeah, but there wasn't like facts to back that up that worked. That was just what they did because they thought it might help.
The headache probably went.
or it got worse.
I find that fascinating. Like, kind of, we're in this time now where it's very easy to judge everything and all this kind of stuff, our past and all that kind of stuff. But my intriguing thing I find is, like, I wonder how people will judge us. You know what I mean? In 2020 or whatever. I can't. I say I can't wait. I might not be around, but like, you know, it'd be interesting for people to go, can you believe, like, in 2020 they actually thought that, you know, I don't know.
The coronavirus couldn't be spread by staying indoors or something.
Yeah,
but really it was in their water supply.
Exactly. Yeah. Or obviously that's not, well, as far as I'm aware, that's not true. But
no, sorry. That was just me going by Batman Begins from yesterday.
Exactly.
I'm another interesting thing that I think that people argue about is how they perceive things visually. So remember the white and gold, black and blue dress.
Oh, yeah.
That caused arguments because you could say, well, the fact is that dress was actually, I think the makers of the dress said, no, it's definitely blue and black.
Right.
Facts.
Fact.
That is a fact.
Right.
But how the image was taken, lighting, and how people see things through their actual eyeballs and their eyesight can change the colour. And there were some days where I was really freaked out because it did change colour for me. And I was like, wait, no. And then it would go and it would be black and blue again.
Yeah.
And then I'd be arguing with myself, even though it was factually correct, it was blue and black. There were people still arguing, saying, no, it was white and gold.
And that's another interesting point, if you like, as well, which is the internet. You think we're now in like the world of arguments, like where you don't even need to leave your house anymore.
No, it's just one
big argument.
Christina Hendricks posted today saying, I think it was Christina Hendricks. No, it wasn't. It was somebody else. I can't remember. But basically, the world is one giant yearbook full of people just saying horrible things. It was Christina Hendricks, by the way. She wrote on her Instagram that the world is just one giant yearbook and people just write stuff all the time and they just,
it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think obviously growing up there was no YouTube, as far as I'm aware, and things like that. So that was it's strange seeing the progression of the internet and
people
Facebook
arguing
and MySpace
in comments.
And all this kind of stuff. Yeah, and it's mad. Like you can look at a video of something totally unrelated and people are like having some Trump battle, or you're like, but this is like a little girl playing flute or something, like this is like, and you're basically having an out and out, argument about politics and stuff. It's like, it's crazy. Like, is it really the time and place for this?
Yeah, people like to just argue. It could be that they're just angry people. I mean, Twitter is the best place for that. If you really want to go and just, see a bit of drama, Twitter is the place because it seems like a celebrity can post about some work that they're doing and someone will just complain about it and then you go on their feed and every single thing is a reply arguing something.
Yeah.
Or criticizing something.
Yeah.
Not even helpful arguments or room for debate. It's just anger.
Mm.
And that's I find that a shame when it comes to arguments is when they can't be done in an adult way.
Well, yeah, but this is the thing. Like, how much of that particular side of it is really like for ego and obviously just trying to,
feel good about themselves by putting other people down.
Yeah, and also
it's not even
having
an
knowledge,
argument. I don't think arguments can exist without another person arguing back.
Well, that's the beauty of it as well, isn't it?
You're arguing with yourself or
Yeah.
against something which no one has even asked an
Yeah.
opinion on.
And-
like,
and-
you could be talking now and I'll go, well, I hate your shirt.
Yeah. But if I just go, cool, then it's,
The argument's done.
yeah, exactly.
But I can continue arguing, but I'm only arguing with myself.
yeah.
And that's the thing. You've got to have, well, to take away from it, this episode, I would say that arguments can be done calmly,
Yeah.
respectfully.
Yeah.
You can be wrong.
Yeah.
You just have to admit it and
Yeah.
just go, you know what, your argument is spot on.
Yeah.
Or, you know, we'll have to agree to disagree. You know,
Yeah.
you just have to accept.
Try not to end your friendship over it.
No, exactly. And if to be honest, the point of views of another person affects you so much, I think there's ways of going about it without shouting or actually fighting.
Hmm.
Arguments are just a verbal way of communication.
Yeah.
And
And there are positives to it.
yeah, and there are positives. It's about
And-
exploring your emotions within that and discovering new thoughts and opinions.
And being devil's advocate and looking at it from all different
Perspectives, yeah.
perspectives as well. How can the people argue with us?
Get arguing with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at TruthsPod.
And if you're not done with that and you want to continue subscribing and writing even more arguments, you can do so via YouTube, Spotify, and follow us on whatever you listen to your podcasts on, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, etc. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Confusion filled sea of doubt. It's time to hear the truth about confusion filled sea of doubt. It's time to hear